Well, it's September, leaves are falling, changing color, the air is cool, sun sets a little sooner. It's nice. And today, on the SmokyVale, we continue our journey through a collection of cherry tobaccos, the list of 10 cherry tobaccos, and I've got one which is kind of special, to me anyway, because it's technically the second cherry tobacco I ever smoked, but it's the first one I bought. And that is the Mac Baren Cherry Ambrosia. Now, so far, out of all these cherry tobaccos that I've sampled on this channel, Casey Jones' Last Ride, it's on top right now. Got a 9.4 on my weighted scale, just beating out the Cornell and Deal Black Cherry with a 9.1. So I did not expect that. I didn't see it coming. I had tried Casey Jones' Last Ride actually before Mac Baren. That was the first cherry I'd ever tried. And it's good. I knew I liked it. I didn't know I was going to like it that much. So it'll be interesting to see where this lands today. So I don't have the original tin. I've had it. I've had this in this mason jar for probably 2-3 months. I get it either a month before summer or as we just started in the summer. So I've had it for a bit. And the aroma is a tin note, still fantastic. And so you can see it here, which this is always fun, right? Kind of see I've definitely got this tobacco at a nice humidity level. So no complaints there. But got some gorgeous Virginias and Burleys and Black Cavendish in there. So, oh man. So the way this is described is it's sweet Virginias, nutty Burley. Okay, nothing special there. Black Cavendish, which again, that's how the tobacco is treated, or processed rather. Then they say it has a cherry essence and Jamaican rum, which I did not realize. So I'm not sure what they use for the cherry topping. Maybe there isn't one. Maybe it's just the specific Virginia and Burley blend that's in here when it goes through the Black Cavendish process. Maybe it releases that natural, like, fruity cherry note that's in here. But either way, it smells fantastic. Honestly, even just from the note here in the jar, and yeah, having smoked this, I do get a tart cherry, which to the untrained nose, you might think is sweet. But that's definitely tart. So I'm excited to try this. I got my beautiful Peterson Dracula pipe. I just love that spigot on this thing. It's such a cool design. And so if you haven't seen the YouTube short I posted a day or two ago, me and a bunch of my buddies, the Viking Piper being one of them, we went out to Strauss Tobacconist in Florence, Kentucky, traveled down there, and then stopped over at Augusta Distillery, smoked in between, you know. We had to smoke a little bit. We got a whole bunch of various ounces here and there of the different tobaccos they had on display. They have I'd say a pretty good selection of tobacco. They got some pretty good blends. And a decent handful of tins there as well for purchase. Decent pipe selection too. They had there's this Savinelli I've been looking at for a bit now. It's that St. Nicholas one they came out with. I just love that like green and red juxtaposed against each other. It looks so cool. I don't know. It's very clean. But they also had a couple Dracula pipes in stock. Good prices, good selection. Thought about picking up a lighter there. I'm still looking for a good pipe, soft touch lighter. You know, I've got these, right? That's fine. But you know, you go to light up, right? And that flame can come back around at your fingers, which is not fun. So you do that, you're drawing into your pipe, it's normally fine. But sometimes these things can be finicky to ignite. Other times your fingers are getting bit when you're using them. I don't know. I've been looking. There's a couple that I've seen that shoot the flame directly down, although I'm not sure what would stop it from having the same problem as this. There's other ones where I've seen that comes out the side. You know, these lighters can range from $30 to hundreds of dollars. So if anybody has a good recommendation for a lighter, drop it in the comments below. And if you haven't done so, if you like the video, like the video. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and fill this bowl. Still love that look. I like a nice clean pipe, but you know what? It doesn't beat rusticated. That rusticated design, you know, that weathered, worn look, there's just something cool about it. There's so many different pipe styles out there and designs. It's definitely an art. Definitely an art form. All right. See, I haven't smoked this tobacco in months. I mean, I've had so many other cherries and other tobaccos to enjoy, but I don't know. That said, I've seen a good number of you have enjoyed the the Mac Baren vanilla video I did. I got to go back and try that again because it's been a minute since I've smoked that one for sure. And now that I have a whole bunch that I just got from Strauss, yeah, well, I got plenty of reviews on the way, so. All right. And to be fair, I've kind of just been sampling various tobacconists as I discover them online, and just having fun with that. Okay. I'm going to warm this one up a little bit. But I've been smoking a lot of Englishes lately. Okay. now that I know what that is, I'm getting that Jamaican rum in there. So, one of the cool things about tobacco, right? Or even beer or, you know, wine, other liqueurs. Every little thing, every little component of them and how they're processed and even bottled, it all goes into what makes up that final product, what you get to experience, what flavors, what aromas, everything. And with tobacco, you know, it's wild going through some of this stuff. Which, if I've been pronouncing Latakia wrong, whatever. Latakia, Latukia, it's fine. But with these different processes, like, you know, having a Cavendish, whether that be made of, maybe it's a golden Cavendish, it's a black Cavendish, or you have like Latakia. I mean, because that's not the tobacco. That's the process it goes through. So here's a fun one for you. So the process of making a Cavendish, where the tobacco, either Virginia or Burley, or both, are put under heat and steam and pressure. And that heat and steam actually triggers a chemical reaction called the Maillard reaction. And through that, it actually darkens the leaf, right? It's one of the easy ways to tell if there's Black Cavendish or something. You look at your tobacco and it's like, what are these chunks of either really dark brown or black looking tobacco pieces in there? Which there was some full-on Black Cavendish tobaccos at Strauss, and you could just, like, the whole jar was just black. And in fact, I picked up one. It's called Queen City, and it's Black Cavendish, and it had like a vanilla casing in it. Just did very good vanilla aroma. So I'll be sure to try that one out with you guys. But yeah, so the Maillard reaction, remember that one. It's what causes the leaf to brown, and it unlocks affects the flavors and the aroma of the tobaccos, which is, I think, is wild, you know. But it's just it's how you get some of the sugars and oils and things out of these tobacco leaves, which again, it's just every little bit goes into what we get to enjoy in our bowls. So really cool. This is a little bit humid, but Oh yeah, I can't be angry at that. Okay. It's definitely a tart cherry. Yeah. Which is good, but definitely more of a sweet cherry guy. It's funny, it's got a good amount of smoke. You definitely get it in the smoke. And that rum note, I'd say it's pretty easy to identify. It's not really a sweet smoke. Just a warm, tart cherry. As far as the flavor and aroma, excuse me. Which is another reason why I try to let this stuff heat up. Because again, it's with the heat and the tobacco, especially with Englishes, as most of us are aware, directly affects what you're going to get out of every draw. Good example I find when I'm smoking the what's it called? The Peterson Early Morning Pipe. Great blend, by the way. Great English. I find that when it's cooler in my bowl, I'll get more of like a creamy note. And then when I get things really warmed up in there, I get more of like a cocoa or peppery note. I consider it like a cocoa. But it changes as you smoke throughout the smoke, which just adds to the enjoyment of Englishes. But same thing with aromatics to an extent. This thing's really got a really good smoke on it. A nice, voluptuous smoke. I love that. The more I draw on this, the more I find that there is this tart or tanginess that's kind of hitting my palate. For a second there, I wanted to mistake it as a sweetness, and it's not. It's definitely a tangy, zippy, tart flavor to that cherry, which is kind of nice. It awakens the tongue a little bit. Okay, well. But where does Mac Baren Cherry Ambrosia fall in my rankings? Well, I gotta say I'm pretty happy with the smoke. I told you this was the first tobacco that I bought when I started my pipe smoking journey. And every night I would come out and just lunt around the yard smoking a bowl of it. And it was always a treat. It is a treat. This is a good cherry tobacco. Which I do have another cherry to review. It won't technically be part of the series, but at some point down the road I'm going to review it. Because I bought some stuff from Mac Baren Ventures. And the Dark Fire Cherry was one of them. I know I got that recommendation in the comments. So definitely looking forward to giving that one a try. Yep. You know, when I got this pipe, I was thinking about just smoking cherries in it, just because of that gorgeous blood red stem. That didn't happen. I do just smoke aromatics in it, though. Well, yeah. Trying to get this thing. Give me a little more smoke here. Okay. Oh yeah. I'm gonna give the, so again, 3 categories: smoke, volume, flavor, aroma. Flavor is rated 10% more on my scale. Because you know what, if you're an aromatic and you got a good flavor, props. All right, and you're gonna get a little more of a boost on the points there. I'm gonna give this one a 9 for smoke volume. Now again, this is not just a cherry because it's got the Jamaican rum in it. So I do find this one to be just a little bit closer to the complex side of aromatics, especially for cherries. That's good. The more I get this warmed up, the more I find that tangy note hitting my palate. Yeah. You know, I'm not a huge fan of tart cherries, but it's good. It's a good smoke. And from a flavor perspective, very enjoyable. I'm gonna give that a 9. Now the aroma's a little harder. Is this? You kind of get some of that tart cherry to come through, but it falls short. So as the smoke carries and casts, I find that it doesn't carry as much on the smoke. It's there, so I'm not saying that the smoke isn't good, but I think I'm gonna have to give that one an 8. Yeah. Still, overall, great cherry tobacco. It's nice to go back and try the first cherry tobacco I bought. It's kept quite nicely in my mason jar. So there's the score, right there. Well, we've got Cult Blood Red Moon coming up, Peter Stokeby 3 Cherry, and then the Super Value Cherry Cavendish. Yeah, 3 left. Okay, well, we're winding down on the cherry series here on the SmokyVale. Thanks for joining me, guys. Got a lot more content in the works. Appreciate all the comments. all the subscribers. We're getting up there. We're getting close to that 100 mark. I'm pumped. I love it. And I love these cool nights. It's fantastic. Love this time of year. All right. Yeah. Way to go, Mac Baren. Very nice. I definitely got to go try that vanilla again. All right. I'm going to finish this off. Until next time, take it easy, guys. Enjoy your evening. Smoke a cherry. Yeah. Maillard reaction. It's going to be on the quiz next time. So remember that. Remember what that is. All right. Oh, man.